Hi, and welcome to another Beach Talk with Gig Harbor Boat Works. The Scamp was designed as a minimalist camp cruiser for one. The idea being a boat that could be rigged, launched, sailed, beached, and retrieved by one person without undue effort. The overall length of the boat is just 12 feet, but it packs a tremendous amount of versatility into those 12 feet. This boat has seen a lot of press already. It's been tremendously popular. The original design of the Scamp was commissioned by Small Craft Advisor magazine to fill a niche that they saw in the small boat market. There just wasn't anything that could be handled by one person. Either the boats were too big to be effectively manned, like single-handed, or they were too small to really get out there and do the things that an explorer would want to do. So they got a hold of John Welsford, who is a prominent small boat designer out of New Zealand. He does some fantastic work, and this is what they came up with. You can tell it is absolutely stable. Should not be sitting this high up on a 12-foot boat. The boat lands on its own 2 feet when you pull it up on the beach. It has enough room in the cockpit to sleep on board. It has enough gear to outfit yourself for weeks of expeditioning, and it is sturdy and beefy enough that you can take it out regardless of weather. The boat is light at 420 pounds or so, which means that it's very easy to get on and off a trailer. It is manageable on the beach. You can pull this up out of the water and get it settled. But it has 180 pounds of water ballast, so once you have it in the water and you fill the ballast tank, it becomes incredibly sturdy and steady. Stepping into this boat from the dock, it feels like stepping onto a 20-foot boat, which, given the size, is remarkable. The sail rig on this is a balanced lug. Again, for simplicity's sake, the mast is unstayed. It's easy for one person to put up. You rig the sails, you hoist it, and you're on your way. There's, again, keeping the fuss and the bother to an absolute minimum. The boat is absolutely remarkable. It's comfortable to sit by yourself. You can fit up to 3 people in there comfortably, 4 if you squeeze. And you can go out in some conditions that will have most other small boats running for shelter. You can throw a couple of reefs in the sail and kick around in the waves and be absolutely comfortable. We've sold a number of these all over the country, and a few of them all over the world. And besides the ones that we deliver, there are any number of home builders that have built their own. It's available as a set of plans, as a do-it-yourself kit, or in the fully finished version from us. There's an association and a forum for people looking for advice. There are get-togethers. There's a whole community that's built up around this boat, which is really really good to see. And I mean, the boat is well deserving of the attention. It's really remarkable. So we've gone to a considerable effort to make this boat as easy as possible to use. For example, the mast, overall the mast is 16 feet tall, but because it's only a 12-foot boat, we made sure that it's in 2 sections, that everything will still fit into the boat and under the cover, just to make storage that much easier. Similar attention was paid to the sail rig. You take the sail down, it fits into the same bag as the mast. The entire package is a 12-foot long duffel bag, and that contains the entire sail rig. You take it with you, you throw it into the boat, you can set it up. We've got it to the point where if you absolutely had to, you could rig this boat at anchor from inside the boat, which is pretty unique as far as I know. The cockpit is roomy. I can get down into it here. There's plenty of room to move around. I can set myself down wherever I want. I can stretch out. If I have a partner with me in the boat, there's room for both of us side by side or across from each other, however we want. To sleep, I can unroll a sleeping bag on the floor. If I need more room, I can set some duck boards across the seats and we can have 2 people sleeping on the seat tops. And the boat is certainly stable enough to make that comfortable. If I need to get out of the weather for a little bit, there's this handy dandy little veranda here. drop an anchor, tuck myself in there for a cup of tea, and get myself warmed up. The idea here was that rather than having a boat which has a tiny cabin and a tiny cockpit, that we maximize the amount of space that's in the cockpit. So we have a cockpit that is absolutely roomy. It's incredibly generous. This is a 20-foot boat cockpit here, at least. And of course, what we sacrificed for that is the cabin. We have the veranda for shelter, but it's not a full cabin. It's not designed as such. That way you have a boat that's just generally more usable, because if you're in a small boat, let's face it, you're spending your time in the cockpit and not in the cabin. So you can see on this particular boat, we do have the attachments for a camping cover. The boat is available with a full enclosure, which has a head-high bimini with full side curtains. If you button it up, then it does turn into a cozy little cabin tent arrangement that you can be quite comfortable in. Scamps have gone on a number of adventures. Quite a few of them have been entered in the Texas 200 as well as the Everglades Challenge, which are endurance races for small boats. And they do quite well in those. There's a particularly nice footage of a scamp coming in while towing two other boats behind it that got dismasted in the breeze. But as tough and as rugged as they can take on those kinds of conditions without any hesitation whatsoever. Because of the low center of gravity of the boat, the ballast tank in there, and the ample flotation in the side seats, if you do manage to capsize one of these, which is difficult to do, it does come right back up. And thanks to the self-bailing floor, it will, you don't even have to empty it out. It'll take care of that itself. By the time you have your lines sorted out and retrieved your oars, the boat's going to be dry and ready to keep going. As it sits right now, the boat is basically in ferry configuration. For storage, the sail will fit right under the veranda here and sit along the cockpit. Oars are clipped in under the seats, so if I needed to, for example, row this out under the bridge so I could set up the mast, I could certainly do that. It rows far better than I was going to give it credit for the first time I took it out. It moves easily with a pair of oars, not particularly fast, but the fact that you can move it with a pair of oars and you can do so effectively is a huge plus in anybody's book. There's room for a small outboard on the back in case the oars and the sail aren't enough power. And of course, with the shallow draft, you can see with the rudder retracted and the centerboard retracted, we're sitting right up on the beach here. It's really a very versatile and comfortable and a very customizable boat.